Oil prices jumped above $100 a barrel today. This after President Trump announced a plan to block traffic entering and leaving Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, oil prices have been rising as shipping through the strait has essentially stalled since late February. That, in turn, has pushed U.S. gas prices above $4 a gallon. The national average for regular gas right now is $4.13. That is up slightly from just a week ago. The national average a month ago was $3.63. Let's go live now to Neil Irwin, Axios chief economic correspondent. Neil, thank you for your time. So you wrote about why inflation is the economic problem of the decade. That was your quote, economic problem of the decade. Could you talk to us about why you said that?
Yeah, if you think about what we've been through the last 6 years, you had the post-pandemic inflation, you had the Ukraine war, you had tariffs, trade war, and now we have this Iran-driven energy price surge. And what that's created is a situation where these things that seem like one-off events, one-time things that affect the price level, have instead become a sustained period of high inflation that is now half a decade long, and that creates some real risks. That creates the possibility that we're entering a new regime, a new world in which elevated inflation is the norm, in which businesses and people act like that, and that becomes self-sustaining.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that to be the norm. Talk to us then, just based on what you said there, how is this affecting Americans' attitudes toward the economy?
They don't like it. We just got a consumer sentiment number on Friday that it's preliminary. It's based on the early returns of the University of Michigan survey, but it was the worst ever seen in a survey that goes back to the 1970s. So if you think about that, some of the difficult times we've had in the last 40 years, things like the 2008 crisis, the pandemic, the peak of the Biden inflation, we got a lower sentiment reading in the first couple of weeks of April than in any of those previous episodes. Look, that doesn't mean things are as bad as they were in some of those periods. It does mean that people are perceiving the economy as being really bad, because it's not just that the energy prices, gas prices are up. It's that there's this sustained thing over the last 5 years I was talking about, where year after year prices keep rising, creates a real affordability challenge.
Yeah, and I kind of want to stick with that too, because I remember post-pandemic when people were finally back traveling, and just to get a flight, that was really expensive. I kept thinking, oh, at some point the prices are going to go down. That has not happened, and there's always this fear that once prices get to a certain level, it's really difficult for it to come down. Do you see that happening here? We talk about gas prices. We talk about all the other ways this is affecting Americans. Are those prices hopefully going to come down at some point?
I mean, gas prices will come down if things in the Middle East calm down. But in general, prices are a one-way ratchet, as you're suggesting. So usually in most states of the world, prices rise. Sometimes they move up quickly, sometimes they move up slowly, but they rarely come down on a mass level. Usually if they do come down, it's because there's deflation, which is what happens in a severe recession. So, we don't really want to see that. We don't really want to see a deflationary kind of collapse in prices. At the same time, Americans could really use a breather. If we could have a few years of being back at that 2% inflation rate the Fed targets, that would give us some time to kind of have people adjust and get used to this new world. Instead, we keep getting one shock after another that keeps pushing prices much higher.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Neil Irwin, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.